Hello everybody, this is Karamsko018, and this is going to be my thoughts on Fairy Tail episode 127. I just did episode 126, but I'm going to have to do more recordings tomorrow because that's all I've got recorded reaction-wise for that show. Anyway, this episode's a bit better, a whole lot better actually than the Butt Jiggle Gang episode. This episode features, obviously, starting off with Happy actually reading one of Lucy's works in progress, which features an invisible man that's a criminal, and it can be good. That could actually be a premise for a good story, depending on how you write it and what the extra rest of the plot is. And yeah, they've invaded Lucy's home as usual. And she kicks them out as usual. And now she's got writer's block, so she can't work on her stories, and thus she decides to take a bath. And without thinking about it, she decides to use a potion that she made before they went to Tenro Island, which was 7 years ago. Think about that. Would you use anything that you created, to work on your body after a 7-year period? I highly doubt that, especially if it's magic. Because usually it will be expired, it wouldn't work right, it can make you sick, depending on if it's food. So, yeah. Not a smart idea. I would have at least made a new one if I were her. If I was really wanting to use that same one I would have made it with the same ingredients, just made a brand new one, and tossed out the old one. No, she uses the old one, which is apparently supposed to make your skin really clear. I'm guessing like clear of blemishes. Oh no, it didn't do that. It does a lot more than that. It makes her completely invisible. Now I know that could be really funny if you use it right, and it actually is. If I had actually been able to use my original reaction to it, you would have seen me laughing a lot. Sadly, that file got corrupted, so I had to re-record it, obviously. But yeah, she obviously freaks out and plans on going to Fairy Tail to see if they can figure out what's going on and how to fix it. She was originally going to wear clothes, but obviously if you see some clothes walking around by themselves, you're going to probably freak out. So she does something else that's kind of stupid. She leaves without any clothes on, making herself completely invisible. And thus, she ends up running into a few problems, like a dog sniffing her, and obviously a dog's going to have a keen sense of smell, so it's going to smell her there even though she's invisible. And I really hope that it actually licks her, and I really hope that it licked her leg, and not her butt, or her down there. Because that would have been really bad. Because obviously we couldn't see where it licked, it just licked something. And she freaked out over it. So I assume it was either her leg or her butt. I hope. And then it started barking at her as she runs away. And then she ends up running into a group of kids. They end up trying to grab at her and touch her. Because it's obviously, they see nothing there, yet there's something solid there. So they try and grab it and find out what it is. And they give chase, even though they can't see her, yet she's running into stuff. She manages to lose the kids. And then she makes her way to Fairy Tail. When she gets there, I was going to say while she was there, but when she gets there, the others start talking smack about her. Saying how she's not, not feminine, she's not ladylike, she's like a brute or something. And this all started out with Natsu talking about how she was kind of being a little ungrateful because they were offering her work. And she kicked them out, obviously, though then again, Urza and Carla both agreed that she was right in kicking them out. And thus, Lucy tries to mess with them for them talking smack about her. And this ended up turning into a full-on Fairy Tail brawl like that we saw in episode 2. And, well, Natsu gets knocked into Lucy, and he hears her, obviously, yelp in pain from that, because obviously that hurt. And he gets real close to her, like this close to her, because he can smell her because his nose is like a bloodhound. And he reaches over and, seeing if she's actually there, and I'm guessing he grabbed her chest because she slapped him. Which I don't blame her. And now everybody knows she's there. And obviously they're trying to figure out, well, how to figure this out. They try some creative methods like, well, Natsu's is kind of stupid, trying to burn off the potion, and that she was turn invisible. I can kind of understand it, yet only way that would work is if it was like gum in her hair. Then I can understand that, but that would be extreme. And it obviously did not work. And then Ritas decides to get the bright idea to paint a face on her, and everybody starts getting in on it. Some of them looked, okay. Some of them looked downright ridiculous. And yeah, and then they just decided to take a picture of Out of Sorcerer Weekly and just wrap it around her as a face. And then they get the quick idea of using Gemini to transform into Lucy, and that obviously didn't last long because they were talking about replacing her. And, like, she ain't having it, obviously. And at this time, Freed and Levy, I almost blanked on the name for a second, are looking over the potion ingredients, trying to figure out, how to fix it and how to reverse it. And they would have done so, but the potion's effects had gotten a lot stronger over the 7-year period. And thus, instead of just keeping her invisible, it was wiping her from existence. And it actually ended up succeeding for a brief moment, where everybody forgot her, and she was essentially trapped in who knows where. But, and this is part of the reason why I think Natsu does like Lucy, not just as a friend, but he still hadn't forgotten her, because once he got done eating, he said, let's go find Lucy and go do our job. Even though everybody else had forgotten her. And dang it, I'm banking on the name. Makao actually put this really well. She might have ended up been erased from his mind, but he was still tucked away in his heart. That's why I think that Natsu has a little bit of a thing for Lucy, even if it's small. It's possible anyway. Or you guys could argue that was just how strong their friendship is. That could be right too. But anyway, the episode ends with the potion getting knocked out of her hand and it landing on everybody else. And everybody else turns invisible. That's how the episode ends. I actually enjoyed this episode. I would have enjoyed it a lot more if I had been able to use my original recording of it, but nope. Oh well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, and I will try and get some more out tomorrow. And I will see you all next time.